how do we make these doctors authorities? How do we make them the go-to experts in their town and in their community? And it's never been easier.
You're listening to ChiroCandy,
the podcast of sweet chiropractic success.
Now,
here's your host, Billy Sticker.
Welcome to another episode of the ChiroCandy Podcast. This is episode 200. Welcome. We've started this 10 years ago. And if you don't know the story, real quick, I'll make this quick. I want to respect your time. I used to work in office for a chiropractor. I was the marketer. We had multiple locations. I fell in love with the profession. We doubled the volume in both offices. And I just wanted to give back. And so I started a podcast that was all about marketing and how do you grow. And that turned into people calling and asking me to help with marketing. And now we run one of the largest chiropractic marketing companies in the world. We've actually worked with close to right about 2,000 chiropractic offices all over the world. We have clients in Australia, the UK, Canada, all over the US, and almost 200,000 patients a month walk through the doors because of what we do. And it all started with the ChiroCandy Podcast, and we are on episode number 200. So this is a big deal. This is going to be a shorter episode, but what I wanted to do in this episode is go over something I talked about when I spoke in Vegas, at Parker Vegas here just a few weeks ago. I had a talk on AI, and one of the key things I talked about, or one of the most exciting things I talked about, if you will, from those who attended, was this session I did, or this part of it that I did, talking about how to use AI for video. Once you get this one thing set up, your team can start creating all the videos so you don't have to do it anymore. Like, imagine just telling your team, hey, we need a video this week on whatever it is, whether you do different niches in your office, from, functional medicine, thyroid, or you're just straight chiropractic and you want to talk about low back pain and sciatic issues. All you have to do is tell the team what they want or what you want the video about, and they could do everything. And it's a video of you, and you can get these kicked out really, really quick. It's not going to take your team long to do it. They'll be able to do these over and over and over again. And in the meanwhile, you can be building your audience, your authority in your market, which is really what we want to do. The best known beats best. Whenever I spoke in Vegas, I was actually fortunate that right after my talk, Gary Vaynerchuk was there. And if you follow him at all, he's always talking about you've got to be creating content on social media. Why would you not? I actually posted a video on Instagram recently, and I'll try to get my producer to put a link in the show notes to that Instagram link, or that Instagram reel. And it was a reaction video of me reacting to one of his videos. And he's saying, all you need to do to become an authority in your market is do a video, target it 5 to 10 miles around your office, and put $100 behind it, and do that over and over and over again. And in 2 or 3 months, you're going to be a local celebrity. And when I first heard him say that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is basically the same strategy that we've been teaching over and over and over again to clients for the past probably 7 years. I mean, we didn't start with that strategy in 2015 when we first started doing this. It took a couple of years before we realized, hey, if we really want social media to work, how do we make these doctors authorities? How do we make them the go-to experts in their town and in their community? And it's never been easier. So whenever we look at just the tools we have, think about years ago. If you wanted to get in front of your community, you had to spend, a lot of people were spending 10 grand a month in the phone book. If you wanted a big page in the phone book, that's what you were doing. Or if you wanted to spend money on TV, it was costing you quite a bit. Newspaper ads, all very expensive. And now we can do it for pennies to get a better message out in front of your target audience in your community. And if you follow the strategy that we talk about, which is our perfect patient tribe turbine, there's actually a book we wrote about it called Tribe of Patients, which talks about this strategy. It works so well. As a matter of fact, if you go back to episode 199, just right before this, we show how this strategy, one of our clients, straight chiropractic, they're not doing any niches or anything really, to just a chiropractic office. They have a retargeting audience of over 200,000 people because they do videos just like I'm going to be teaching you. They do them over and over again every single week, several videos, and they've been able to build a very, very large retargeting audience. And they used to spend $25 to $30 a day, and now they're spending $300 a day on their budget because they have such a large pond stocked full of so many fish in their retargeting audience that it works so well. So now they do any kind of new patient offer. Hey, we're now accepting new patients. Then basically the fish are jumping in the boat because it's such a blue ocean for them to fish in because they've built it and they've done such a good job curating that pond with all those fish by using this strategy. All right. So enough about the background. I definitely recommend you go back and at least watch that. I think it's like an 11-minute episode. So it's pretty quick. But that talks a lot about this strategy. But let's get into this. There is a tool called 11 Labs. 11 Labs allows you to clone your voice. They have like a 2-minute thing that you can do where you just upload a little bit, or you can do the professional version. And I really recommend you doing the professional version of your voice. This is where they'll take, I think they take up to 3 hours, maybe. It's been a little bit, it's been probably 4 or 5 months since I cloned my voice. And what I did is I took a bunch of podcast episodes. Now, I also speak a lot. I travel and speak at a lot of different chiropractic events. I also speak at our church quite often. And so I did take some of those and learn from me. This is where I messed up. I speak different like this than I do if I'm speaking from the stage. I fed it both audios, and sometimes on my voice, whenever it's doing things, you'll actually hear the pitch change, and you can tell it sounds like it sounds like I'm preaching, if you will, or I'm delivering a message from the stage. But I was able to clone my voice. And let me just show you this. Well, real quick, let me give you a cool use case that I do with this. My grandson, he's actually, at the time of recording this, he just turned 4. And he comes over all the time. He's actually in the other room right now. And whenever he goes to bed, he wants us to read a bedtime story. Well, I had the idea of, instead of reading a bedtime story, why don't we have AI create a bedtime story for us? So he'll give me an animal. I was like, hey, give me some kind of animal. And he'll say a porcupine or a bear, or he'll come up with something. And then I'll tell ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or just one of these different tools. I'll say, hey, I need a story for a 4-year-old boy about a bear and his best friend that's a porcupine. It needs to be 1,000 words or less. Go. And it'll write this story for me. I then take the story, whatever it puts out, I copy it into the 11 Labs app. So you have the app. There's also one, you can just get it on the computer. But I have my voice selected. So this one isn't one of those stories. Actually, I'm not sure what this is. I can't really tell from this.
Efforts
let's
are
see.
effective.
But this is me.
Throughout my career, I found that biblical principles align perfectly with sound business practices. Take Galatians 6:2, carry.
So this is actually, that was a summary of my Blessed Entrepreneur book. I just copied and pasted in there once to test some stuff out. So that wasn't me. That was all just 11 Labs. You feed it a script, and then it'll read it in your voice, and it sounds phenomenal. So now whenever River comes over, we'll do a story like that, and we lay in bed, and we will have my voice read him the bedtime story that he helped create. It's really, really cool. So step 1 is creating your 11 Labs voice, cloning your voice. So go to 11 Labs. There's actually going to be a link in the description. You can go to chirocandy.com/AI-tools. And there's a link to 11 Labs and a lot of other cool AI tools that I teach, that I talk about a lot. There's nothing, you don't have to opt in for it. You don't have to give me your name or email, none of that stuff. You can just go to the site. I would love for you to schedule a call with our team if you want help with any of your marketing. There's a button on there to do that, but it's not gated at all. You just go there and you can get links to this. But 11 Labs, there's a link straight to it on there. So step one is doing your 11 Labs voice. Now, it may mean that you just sit in front of your computer or go in your closet where there's like good acoustics, you got a decent mic, or you're just on your phone, and maybe you just read a book or you just ramble. It really doesn't matter what you're saying. You just want to talk to it for a while, just enough for it to learn your voice and your voice inflection, or however you would normally talk. So step one is doing 11 Labs. Step number two that you're going to want to do is you want to create a Google Drive full of B-roll video. So what is B-roll video? B-roll video is video of you just walking around your office, not necessarily talking to the camera, right? You may be in the office, maybe adjusting a patient, maybe standing in front of a nerve chart, doing like, a day one or day two. Maybe some B-roll could be you up at the front desk, laughing and cutting up with your CAs. It could be you at the gym, you at the park with the kids, you for a walk, you in your vehicle, you sitting at your desk doing some work. All of this stuff, I think you get the idea of what B-roll is. It's the extra footage. You can even take B-roll of your community. It's not very difficult to get. A side note, you can typically go to Google Earth on your desktop, and there's ways you can go to Google Earth, type in the address of your city and your town, and a lot of times you can get B-roll overhead footage of your town from Google Earth. So that's a little side note there. But if you get a Google Drive and you want to do as much B-roll in there as you can, all kinds of different things. So that's step two. Step one is cloning your voice in 11 Labs. Step two is creating a bunch of B-roll videos. Step three is getting a video script. Now, there's several different ways that you can do this. One of the things that I talked about in my Parker Vegas, I'm actually going to do a webinar here in a couple of weeks. Just be looking, sign up, go to our website, do whatever you need to do to get on our mailing list, because we're going to do an AI webinar here in the next couple of weeks, where I'm going to be teaching some of this stuff in more detail. But one of the things that I've talked about before is being able to use ChatGPT to create a chiropractic patient persona. And you get in there and you ask it, hey, I need you to create a chiropractic patient persona. I need to know what their problems are, what's their pain, what do they want, what do they not want, and what have they tried before. And it'll create this document for that ideal patient. And then anything you do, you can actually create a custom GPT if you want to look into that. I've got some other training I've done on that before. And then you could just have your team go to this custom GPT and say, hey, we need a 30-second dialogue only video script on cervical issues and headaches, or on the benefits of the carnivore diet. Whatever you want it to be about, they'll say, I need a 30 to 40 second dialogue only video script for XYZ, speaking to our ideal patient. You can upload that document, or if you have a custom GPT, it's already going to know that, but it's going to give you that script. You take the script, you put it in 11 Labs. 11 Labs is going to use your voice and give us a voiceover that your team's going to be able to use to do your videos. And now they can go to the Captions app, they can go to CapCut, any of these different tools. There's so many that they can do just on their phone. They can actually even open up the Instagram app and just upload some B-roll video straight to there, do your voiceover on that. And now there's a video, 30 to 40 seconds, which is perfect, on topics that you want to create. It's in your voice. People see you, and we're building an audience of people who start to know, like, and trust you because they're seeing these videos over and over and over again. But once you do the setup, once you've cloned your voice, and then you train your team on, and you do your B-roll video, your team can start putting out these videos once a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week. Whenever you want, you can start kicking out these videos, and all it's going to do is start building your authority in your community, because the best known beats best. You can be the best at what you do, but if nobody knows who you are, it doesn't do any good, right? So this is a great strategy. And listen, this is actually only step one. Doing videos like this is great to get out in the community. Another thing you have to do is in the back end of Facebook, and you can Google how to do this. Go to YouTube, go to Google, go to Perplexity and type this in. How do I build a video views audience inside of Facebook? And every time you do a new video, make sure your team goes and adds that video to your video views list, because that's what the last episode, 199, that's what they did, or that's what we're doing for them. Every time they do a video, we're adding it to that video views list. And that's why they have over 200,000 people that have been watching their videos. So now every time they do a new video, those people see it over and over and over again. And every time they turn around, they see that office. What if you only had a video views audience a fraction of that? What if your video views audience was only 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 30,000 people? Let's say 30,000 people. But once a week, you were doing a new video and putting a little bit of money behind it, and those people were seeing you over and over and over again. You know what's going to happen? The next time you're getting gas, the next time you're at a restaurant, the next time you're in town, people are going to start stopping you saying, hey, I love your videos. I see you all the time. And that's what we want. That's how we build your authority. So you can follow the steps I talked about in this to get to start doing these videos on autopilot, right? You can get your team to do them. It's only going to take them a few minutes a week to start kicking these out for you. And the value that you get from strategies like this is definitely something that you want to take advantage of. If you're interested, now you can go to chirocandy.com/AI-tools, and you can get some cool other tools that are in there. There's even some videos where I have training you on how to do some Heijian, which will actually some more video stuff. I train you on 11 Labs, how to do a custom GPT. All that training is on that page. You'll find it there in one spot. So feel free to go check that out. But do whatever you need to sign up for our email list, because we do have a training coming up. I don't even have a URL for it yet, or else I would put it on here. I'll try to have the team put it in the show notes once we do have this ready. But we do have another training on using AI in your practice, on all your marketing, and some really cool stuff that's going to be coming up here in a couple of weeks. So thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, share it with a friend. We love the audience. We love chiropractic. That's why we do what we do, and that's why we've been doing it for over 10 years now. So thank you so much, and we will see you on the next episode of the ChiroCandy Podcast. Take care.